Okay, so 我们这一个 after learning 我们的 integration，我们其实剩下的就是 the final calculus part 是我们的，well technically not final, but in pure 3 is 我们的 differential equation. Okay, regarding of differential equation，它其实是 equation that consists of dy dx or d square y dx square. Okay, but in pure 3, we are only looking at first order, 也就讲着 dy dx. Okay, it's the first power. Okay, 那其实我们一直以来都有看过 dy dx 这个 differential equation 了。Okay, it's just a simpler term, such as 我们的 dy dx equals to 3x square, 我们找出来 y 是等于多少。So it's the same concept, but okay, we are looking at mixture of x and y together. Okay, so 像这种情况，我们其实要做的是 solving for it. Now, there is a general equation that I have formed over here. Okay, such as 我们在这里右边 what is trying to demonstrate is 我们这里有 dy over dx equals to px function qy function. In order to solve for y, okay, we need to follow the procedure such that 我要先把我的 y 的部分先搬过去左边这里，然后就讲我两边做 dx 的 integration. And what happens is that it will cancel out 我们的这里的 dx, and the left hand side will remain with integral of 1 over qy dy equals to integration of px over dx. Now, this is obviously the general equation, general format, but let's have a look at the demo. Okay, we are learning only with separable variables, 也就是讲这我们是 separating between px and qy 这两个 function. We are trying to separate it. Okay, in the future, 如果你是 learning mathematics 的话, you will learn about linear, but we are only learning about separating. Okay, for example, 我们在这里看到我们这里有 dy dx equals to xy, right? So 就像我们讲的一样，我们要搬的是 y 的部分去我们的 dy dx, which in this case it will be y. So that results into 1 over y in here. Now we do integration of dx on both sides, and what happens is 这两个 will cancel out and remain with 我们的 dy. Okay, now in this case 我们这里做的东西就是直接做 normal integration. Okay, which is just ln of y plus a equals to x squared over 2 plus b. Okay, in a way you can also skip all the way from the step to here, from here to here, 因为 basically in terms of saying 我们的 c is equals to b minus a in terms of a constant. Okay, but if you want to be specific, it is actually a and b, they each have their own constant first. And then after that, we have to solve for y such that 我们的 final general solution must be yx equals to 我们的 function, okay, 任何的 function, okay, and then we've got plus c or whatever. Again, 它的 general solution, there are a lot of ways to represent it. Okay, you can represent it in, like, you can even just leave it like that. That's even the general solution. Okay, but in here, what they have demonstrated is that this is equals to x squared over 2 times 我们的 e to the power of c, where they replace 我们的 e to the power of c as 我们的 d. Okay, so this is the general solution. Right, regarding of this one, there are sometimes we also need to find out what is the c's value, or we call it as particular solution. Okay, 也就是讲这 when y equals to 2, x equals to 0, 我们到底会有什么那样的 c 出现等等的。Alright, let's try and solve some examples. We have a dy dx equals to 1 plus x over 2y, so we have to solve the differential equation and obtain an expression for y in terms of x when it's given y equals to 3 and x equals to 0. Alright, so let's do it together. So we've got dy over dx equals to 1 plus x over 我们的 2y. As we mentioned, 我们的目的是要把我们的 y 搬去左边. So that means it will result into 2y dy over dx equals to 1 plus x. And we have to do 我们的 integral of dx. Okay, so in this case, it would be this 2 cancels out, and that results into 我们的 2y dy equals to integral of 1 plus x dx. Hence, 我们 integrate 之后，我们会得到的是 y square plus a, or you can just skip all the way to x plus x square over 2 plus c. 因为它照理来讲，我们这个 plus c is equals to b minus a or a minus b. It depends on how you want to define it. Now, we are trying to find in terms of y, okay? So hence, 我们的 the solution, it will be square root of x plus x squared over 2 plus c. This is the general solution. Now, we are trying to solve for a particular solution. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this part, 因为 obviously using a square root 的话它是比较复杂的 and we might as well just, it will turn back to 我们的这一个 equation anyways. So from here we say y equals to 3, x equals to 0, and we solve for it. 9 equals to 0 plus c, plus 0 plus c. So c is equals to 9. So therefore, 我们的 final solution is y. Okay, I'm just writing in terms of function. Okay, it will be x plus x squared over 2 plus a 9. This is the final answer. Done. Alright, let's look at the other one. Okay, again, we have a differential equation. So again, 我们是要把我们的 square root of y 搬过去. So it will be 1 over square root of y dy over dx equals to 2x over here. Do integration. So it will become integration of 1 square root of y. I'm going to change this to indices, which is y power of half dx, dy equals to 我们的 integration of the 2x dx. So here, 我们 plus 1 after that, it will become a 2y. And then it will be 1 over 2 equals to 我们的 x squared plus c. Right. Now in this case, 我们的 y would equal to 我们的 x squared plus c over 2, and it would be bracket square. Okay, so in this case, the final format 我们可以写成的是 x squared plus c squared over 4. Done. This is the general formula. But what about the particular solution? The particular solution 就是把它 substitute 进去. When y equals to 4, x equals to 1, so it will be 4 equals to 1 plus c of the square, okay? Or, yeah, and then over 2. So, in this case, 我们会得到的是 8 in this case, and it will be a square root, okay? Oh, it should be a 4, sorry. Okay, it will be 1 if that's the case. Then it will be square root, okay? And we will have equals to 1 plus c. Hence, 我们这里的 final answer, it will be, I think I substituted the wrong value, did I? It should be 4, which is 2. Oh yeah, it should be multiplied. What am I doing? That's why I was like so confused. So you got 16, okay? And then you square root equals to 1 plus c. So 4 minus 1 equals to c. So this is equals to 3. So 我们的 final answer would just be 我们的 y equals to x squared plus 3 over 4. Oh, sorry. This should be a bracket square also. Alright, 2 more questions. Let's have a look. General solution of the following. So 这里的话也是 same concept. Okay, dy dx of 1 over. 这里的话其实 I'm gonna change it such that this equals to x over e to y. So you can see that I can just multiply 2y over here equals to x. Okay? So in this case, equals to over the x dx and then integral of dx. Cancel that out together. It will become 我们的 e to y dy equals to integral of x dx. So final part, it will be 1 over 2 e to the power of 2y equals to x squared over 2 plus c. So 我这里的话 it will be 2e to y equals to x squared plus 2c, and then it will become 2y equals the ln of x squared plus 2c. Oh, sorry. X squared plus 2c. So in this case, y would equal to 我们的 half of ln x squared plus 2c. Good. Now, using particular solution, 我这里的话，when I'm solving for particular solution, 我会选择的是放在这里。OK， 我直接用这一个。Oh, in fact, sorry, I should put absolute. Okay, so in this case, 我这里的话，我会讲 y equals to 0, x equals to 2, so it becomes e, which is 1, equals to 4 plus 2c. So it will be negative 2 over 3, negative 3 over 2. Yep, negative 3 over 2, that is equals to 我们的 c. Am I doing something wrong? Again. Or do I feel like I did something wrong? Hold on. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna change this to d such that 我这里的话就是等于我的 c, d is equals to 2c, but yeah. Okay, so c is equals to that, but d 如果你是写 d 的话 it will actually make your life easier by a little bit, not a lot, okay? But it will become a negative 3, like that. So 我们的 final answer would be y equals to half of ln x squared plus a negative 3. Again, 他们两个 the answers both are acceptable, 只是我觉得 this one looks cleaner. Okay? Again, both are looking acceptable. Right. Again, another thing is I bluffed about last two questions. No, this is the second last question now. I didn't realize that. We are now solving for a particular application question. But whenever you're looking at particular application 的 question 哦，你会发现它其实来来去去都是差不多的。Okay, the only thing is that 我们来 inspect 一下这一个 equation. Why is there no y? Obviously, 因为我们这里是 in terms of x and t. Okay, but where is t? 我们 refer back to 我们刚刚的那个 dy dx. Whenever we are doing dy dx, we need y to be here. So that means in this case, 我们需要的是我们的 x on my side. So hence, 我这里我会需要做的是 integration of 1 over x 300 minus x dx over dt equals to 这里是 dt, 是 integral of 1 over 600 dt, like that. So 我们看得出来 let's simplify a bit. 我们这里会得到的是 1 over x 300 minus x, and then we've got dx, which is equals to 我们这里右边 is quite obvious, 600 t. Okay? Now, with this part, 我们需要做 integration by part, isn't it? So that means you can I believe that you know how to do it on your by your own, but this part it will be same as 1 over x plus 我们的 1 over 300 minus x. So I'm just referring to the answer. Okay, but I'm pretty sure you know how to do it. Oh, sorry, I forgot one thing. Times 1 over 300. 因为我觉得这 right now I'm trying to introduce the scale for differential rather than partial fraction. So in this case, it will become 1 over 300, 然后 integral of 1 over x plus 1 over 300 minus x dx is equals to 我们的 1 over 600t. Okay, so let's do the integral. It will become 我们的 ln of x plus 我们的 ln of 300 minus x bracket equals to t over 600 plus a c. Of course, 你要的话, you can just multiply 300 on both sides, so this becomes 2, and this would be, it would just stay as c if you like. Alright. So, in this case, 我们这里的 ln 我们可以 change form such that it will become ln of x plus 我们的300 minus x. Oh, sorry, it should be minus. So it should be x over 300 minus x like that is equals to 我们的 t over 2 plus c. Not enough space. So let's come over here. So we are trying to make x the subject. So x over 300 minus x is equals to e to the power of t over 2 plus c, like that. Okay? Now, what you need to do is that 你需要去把它的这一个 x make x the subject basically. Okay, this is probably one of the hardest part. Okay, but you can actually make life easier by doing reciprocal on both sides. 因为你会发现到左边我可以写成 300 over x minus 1. 然后 I change what the subject. I just have to kind of like tweak things a bit. So it will be 300 over x equals to 1 over e to the power of t over 2 plus c plus 1, like that. Okay, so the final part, 我们的 x would eventually just becomes, it should be plus 1 here. So 我这里乘过去, 我这里乘过去. So x, I mean, I can say x is equals to 300 over 1 over e to the power of t over 2 plus c. Ooh, that's too small. E to the power of t over 2 plus c plus 1, like that. 我可以写成这样啦. Okay, basically in a way of saying. Yeah, this is a messy equation. Okay, it's really messy. But of course, 你可以就是用 multiplication. OK, 你就是把从这里你把两边都 multiply 起来，你就可以变成 x equals to e to the power of t over plus c, and then you got 300 t over 2 plus c. OK, minus x 的这个部分 e to the power of t over 2 plus c, 然后你去把这个弄去左边. So this is a second method. 然后就是讲 x equals to 1 plus 1 plus e to the power of t over 2 plus c, like that. That's the second method, which you can see is also messy. Even the final answer, it will be 300 t over 2 plus c over 1 plus e to the power of t over 2 plus c, like that. Yep, they're both messy. But the main part is that we solve for when x equals to 50 and t equals to 0. So we pick any part that we feel confident with. 也不一定要用回我们的 final part 的. Okay, that's the key part. A lot of students will be like, oh, I need to pick a certain value. I can even pick here. Okay, I can just pick here and just be like, okay, so when ln of 550 and you got 250 over here, that's a certain value, is equals to 我们的 t is equals to 0, right? Yep. So this is equals to c. Done. Okay. So in this case, it will be ln of 1/5. Okay. So the final part, 我们的 answer, our final solution, it will be x equals to 300 over e to the power of ln of 1/5. Okay, which is the same as 我们的it will be 我们的 let's see, one over 5, and you should have 我们的，因为这里是 0.2, oh sorry, my mistake, 这里是 e t over 2 plus 我们的 ln of half, not half, 1/5, 然后 plus 1, which is the same as 300 over 我们的 e to the power of t over 2, 然后是 times 我们的 1/5 plus 1, like that. Oh, sorry, it should be 1 over. So you can see differential equation 其实 concept wise is not that hard, but the question here is definitely, the final answer is probably going to be messy. It looks like it's not. Okay, it looks like you're like, oh, you're doing quite bad, but that might be the answer eventually. Yep, welcome to general equation. The main thing is that 我们会更看重的是你的 step of working rather than the final solution. Okay, so again, don't panic if you feel like the final general solution is not like perfect. Okay, right, this is the final question. Okay, let's have a look. So 这里的看起来很像没有，这是一个 separable, but we do. Okay, let's rearrange a bit. 我们通常是需要我们的那个 dy dx 在一起的吧，对不对？ So dy over dx would equal to 我们的 negative x squared plus 1 of the y cube over 我们的 x squared. Now we have something to move separate, which is 我们的 integration of y cube dy over dx equals to integral of 我们的1 plus 1 over x squared dx. So in this case, 我们这里 it will become 1 over 4y to the power of 4 equals to 我们的 negative x, negative, it will be negative positive 1 over x plus c. Okay? Yep. Oh, it should be 1 over y cube. Sorry. 那这个样子的话应该是 1 over 2 然后 y squared, like that. Okay? Now, again, they didn't request us to rearrange. So in a way, this is also a general solution. Okay, this is a general solution. So yeah, it's not necessary to rearrange to x unless requested. Okay, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And also we have to say that y is definitely not equals to 0. Okay, 这个是需要讲的 and x is not equals to 0. 因为为什么 we have this thing. Alright. That's pretty much it for differential equation. Obviously, this is a long topic, So make sure to digest a bit. We'll have a final part. It's only 3 pages, I believe. Yeah, including introductory, it will be 4 pages, but 3 pages in total for the next part, which is forming differential equation.